decided to take a little bit of a walk, and I'm going to start extending that a bit. I need to get out from behind that computer, and here I am outside from behind the computer. Didn't walk that far, but I'm going to start small. So first, the tip, as usual. The tip today is making your first headshot and resume. Now, I've talked about this before, but I thought I'd do a quick tip on it because I've been in contact with a few new actors who had some questions about getting their headshot together and also getting their first resume together. So here's the good tip about your very first headshot. Doesn't have to be a real expensive one. True. You don't need $1,000, $2,000, $3,000 headshot when you're first starting out. You don't need a big session like that. You need to find a photographer that's near you who's taken headshots before of actors and actresses. And the reason I say that is because there are a lot of photographers out there, and they do weddings, they do school portraits, they do fun photos out in the park. That's not what you're looking for. You're looking for a headshot photographer who has experience taking photos for actors and actresses. Now that's different than just your general photography. You don't need someone who has a nice camera, who hasn't taken any photos before, because it has to look a certain way. It has to look professional so that the casting people know you know what you're doing. They know you've done a little bit of research. They know you're taking this serious. So I suggest find some photographers in your area. Do a Google search. Look for photographers that are near you. Go to their websites and check out some of the headshots that they have there, some of the samples they have available. Look for headshots that show, excuse me for the bugs, look for headshots that show characters or actors that are similar to your look, that are similar, skin tone, hair. They don't have to be exact, obviously, but you want to get an idea of how they take their pictures and where they take them. Do they do them inside? Do they do them outside? So get a photographer near you that has great shots. Now, one thing you need to do too, first off, do a Google search for professional headshots and resumes. Professional headshots and resumes. But let's just talk about the headshots first. So once you go on Google and you see some professional actors' headshots, you'll know what they're supposed to look like. You will see the backgrounds. You will see the lighting. You will see the style. You will see the framing. That's what you're looking for. So look up professional actors' headshots for new actors. Just make it simple and get an idea of what you're looking for, so that when you look at the photographer's portfolio, you'll know whether he or she has the headshots style and the look and the experience to give you the shots that you need so that you'll start off right on the back. So don't just get your uncle to take some pictures of you out in the backyard. You don't want a backdrop. Look at my backdrop. You don't want a backdrop like that. You want a plain professional backdrop. So do a little bit of research, see what a professional acting headshot looks like, then look for a photographer in your area, and also look for a reasonable price. I'd say somewhere between $200 to $500. Somewhere between, you might even find a deal between $150 and $250, but don't go over $500 to start out with your very first headshot. You're just getting started. You're going to be taking more headshots, and you don't want to bust the bank and just as you're getting started. So look for a photographer, do the research first, find out what a professional headshot looks like so you can know before you even start looking. Then find some photographers in your area, look at their samples, and book one. Try to talk to them on the phone too, if that's possible, just to get an idea of how their personality is over the phone. Are they willing to talk? Are they willing to answer your questions? If you have questions, jot down some questions so that when you get them on the phone, you can talk to them about those questions. How many changes do you get? What kind of clothing should you bring? And I would suggest also for headshots, you want to get a serious one and a smiling one. Serious and smiling to start out with. Two basic headshots, a commercial look and a theatrical look, as they call them in the business. So that's the headshots. Do a little bit of research. Resume, same thing. Look online and look at some starting actor and actress resume. You're not going to have a lot of work to put on your resume if you're just starting out. Hopefully you've done some plays, maybe you've done some staged reading, maybe you've done some spoken words, maybe you sing or something like that. All that can put together to make you up a nice starting resume. So get an idea of what to put on a brand new actor or actress's resume. Do a Google search for that. Look around, see what they look like, and build yourself one. Find the right format that looks professional, because you're going to need a headshot and a resume to get started. So that's my first tip. That actually is my tip for today. What I wanted to talk about, I made a little note for myself right here, so I wouldn't forget, because I'm doing something different by walking out here in the street. Okay, what I want to talk about today are monologues. Now, a lot of actors, especially new actors, don't think monologues are relevant anymore these days. But let me tell you the truth, they are. That is a way that you can start practicing on your own. You can start learning how to learn lines. You can start learning how to break down a character, how to dissect a scene, how to deliver that scene, how to deliver that scene in multiple different ways. So that's what is important about finding a monologue. The very first monologue you want to find is something that I always tell actors, find something that is related to the type of characters you see yourself playing. Keep it short. It doesn't have to be no more than 3 paragraphs. You want to find a monologue that fits your character, that fits your type, that fits your age, and that's the very first monologue you want to start working on. I always recommend that you have 3 monologues: a serious one, a comedic one, and one that's somewhere in between, like they say, that dramedy, somewhere in between, like television show that has comedy in it. Now, here's the key phase, the key tip of this little section about monologues. Don't pick a monologue that's really recognizable. Don't pick something from a feature film that as soon as you start talking, they're going to start thinking of the famous actor who was in that scene. A lot of people pick that scene with Tom Cruise and Jack Nicholson. You want the truth? You can't handle the truth. Or something from Clint Eastwood. Go ahead, make my day. You don't want any popular, easily recognizable monologues. You want to find something from a play, maybe from an old play, that you can update. Now, feel free. If you find a monologue, you feel free to make it, to rewrite it a bit to fit your own words. You're not plagiarizing it, because you're not going out and trying to sell this monologue. You're not telling anybody that, this is something original that you wrote. You're going to find a monologue, maybe from a play, maybe from a book. Books have monologues in them, and rewrite it so that it fits you. All you need is about 3 paragraphs for your very first monologue. And then you start the steps of working on that monologue as if it were a role you were playing. You were going to learn, how to memorize the lines. That's another key thing that you need to know as an actor. You're going to learn how to memorize I have some videos on my channel about memorizing lines. Take a look at those. That will help you. Or do a Google search again and find out tips and techniques for actors to memorize lines. The one I recommend is called mnemonics for actors. Mnemonics for actors is a line memorization technique. So, but the monologue, back to the monologue. Find your very first monologue. Start working on it. Get that monologue so well in your mind that you could deliver it at any moment. If someone were to say to you, do you happen to have a monologue? Boom, you have one. And you deliver that monologue for them. It's practice. It's a way that an actor can practice your craft all alone. You can practice it when you're walking, when you're exercising. Run through it a few times. That's why I say get 3. Comic, dramatic, and one that has a little bit of comedy and drama in it. Now, don't worry if you're never asked to say it. The monologue is personal. It's for you. It's something that you have as an actor where you can rehearse. It can be part of a relaxation technique. It can be part of a way to bring you down when you're, when a lot of times actors have ups and downs. Go to your monologues and work on them. Have your monologues. Practice those monologues. Deliver those monologues. Deliver them for friends. You have some close friends by. Get critiques. Maybe some actor friends you have. Maybe some friends that have nothing to do with acting. But monologues are key for an actor. I know a lot of people think that's old school, but it's a technique. that really does work. And then if you can get in some stage plays, that's great too. That's the, my take on, if you're not able to get into a play, a monologue is a play you can put yourself in, and you can practice it at any time. You can sit outside in the park, run through your monologue. You need to rehearse. You need to practice. Actors need to practice, just like any other skill. You don't wait until you job, and that's the only time you practice. You practice on your own. Monologue is your key to keep fresh. It's kind of like a jogger or a runner. They can go out and run on their own. Any kind of athlete can practice going to the gym and working out. An actor practices by delivering lines and delivering about that, getting together with other actors. Also about getting into classes. But you're not going to always be able to be in a class, but a monologue is yours. A monologue is yours to use whenever you want, to practice, to rehearse, to keep your skills up. Get into the habit of doing monologues, finding them. Go online, find a monologue, pull it down, learn the lines, deliver the lines. Deliver the lines different ways. You know, deliver it the way it's written, and to deliver totally different, so that you are always on the top of your game. You are always sharp. You are always ready when that opportunity presents itself, an opportunity for an audition. You won't be stale. You won't be stiff. You won't be nervous, because the monologue will help you relax. The monologue will build your confidence. They will give you the ability to realize, yes, I can do this. I am believable. Look in the mirror and do it. Videotape yourself doing your monologue, and then look back at it again to see how you can improve. So again, a monologue is something that every actor needs. I say 3, but start with 1. If you're a new actor, new actress, and you don't have one, no one's ever told you to get one. No one has said that this is something you need. We always used to have monologues ready to go. And I believe that's something that every actor still needs, to be able to recite a monologue whenever, you know. And as you do it, as you're more used to it, and as you want to take on more difficult ones, you can take on some of the classics and practice those. Learn to do it. It's a skill. It really is. And if you don't keep at it, you're not going to be able to build it. Again, I always tell people, everybody rehearses. All other kinds of art rehearses. An actor's kind of isolated unless you have a job or you're in a class. A lot of people say stay in classes. Sometimes the truth of it is you can't afford to stay in classes, because classes can get expensive. You go to classes when you can. You get some money together. And I tell actors to organize their own classes. There's a lot of actors out there who want to be in class and want to rehearse, but they can't afford it. You can organize your own classes with actors that are in your area, people you know, people that you don't know. Network. I tell people to get on those network sites on Facebook and find groups of actors and find out if anybody wants to get together and do monologues or do scene study. You don't have to always have an instructor there. It's practice, it's rehearsal. That's what you need. You need to do your craft as much as possible. So a monologue is a way that you can do it all by yourself. You don't need anyone to help you. It's just you and your monologue. So this was my first little expedition outside. I didn't walk that far from my home. I live out here in California. It's pretty overcast today. We're supposed to be getting a storm, but thanks for watching, and I will see you again tomorrow. Remember, the tip was getting your first headshot and resume, getting it together now. Getting it together, start working on it. Do a local photographer that's not that expensive somewhere near you, but research. Know what the headshots are supposed to look like. Find a photographer who's done it before. Talk to the photographer before you go to find out what his tips are, what you should bring to be ready, how many looks you will need as far as looks, changes of clothes. And then the monologue. That's the body of this piece. How important a monologue is to actor and actress. Again, it might be something that's just for you, just for your practice, just for your rehearsal, just to build your skill, to stay sharp, just like all other people do who practice their talent. If you have a talent, you need to work at it. You don't just sit back and wait for the day when it's needed, or hope for that day that you get an audition or you get a job. You need to practice constantly, once a day. Maybe you want to run through your monologue, you know, as you're learning it. Break it down into small bits until you have it all, and then run it through your head, and then get another one. and have 3. All right. I'm going to let you go. Thanks for stopping by, and I'll see you in the next one.